Welcome to another edition of Influence, the global podcast that shines a spotlight on the influencer marketing industry. My name is Gordon Glenister. And for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm a keynote speaker, trainer, and consultant in the sector and published author on influencer marketing strategy. Influence is also a proud member of the Marketing Podcast Network, where you can listen to other amazing influencer and marketing related shows. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to the show just to make sure that you don't miss a future episode. Now, today, I'm talking with Olsen, who is Greenland's biggest influencer. Yes, you heard it right, Greenland's biggest influencer. And what a story she's telling me. And we talk about the country, what Greenlanders eat, and most importantly, her videos that have reached millions of views around the world. And so here's what she had to say. So welcome again to the Influence Global podcast, and I have a super guest, and I'm really excited today. I'm excited for all my guests, but obviously Olsen, who is Greenland's biggest influencer. Welcome to the Influence Global podcast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear all about Greenland. I know so little, really. We met at a big content creation summit in Dubai, didn't we? And I remember when you took the microphone and you stood up, and I'm thinking, because you said Greenland straight away, you left a mark. Not just with me, but I reckon a lot of other people there, as you know, being somebody different that's got a really great story to tell. So, and before we get into the weeds of your own content creation, perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about how you got into doing it, how you got into this world of content creation, and about you're a mum, I know, and so tell us a little bit about your background.
My background, I'm Greenland's first and only mining engineer as well. So I've been studying in the US and in Australia. I've been traveling a lot, mountaineering in Africa, in South America, and so on. And during all my journey, I have realized that people around the world don't know anything about Greenland, and they have a wrong imagination about Greenland. So to kill this wrong imagination and wrong impression of us Greenlanders, I've started to make these videos here. First, I wrote 2 emails to Ness Daily back in 2019, asking him, please, can you come to Greenland so you can show the Greenland to the rest of the world? But no response at all. So I just started in February 2020, right before the pandemic. I just started to make my own videos in English to tell the world about Greenland. And when I posted my second video, Ness Daily himself reached out to me because he has been seen, and my videos were very similar to Ness Daily videos at the beginning. But now I've just grown and started to do my own real Q's channel, Q's Greenland. And yeah, I'm showing the world about Greenland, what Greenland is really about, our culture, our language, what do we eat, how big is Greenland, how many lives in Greenland, and all the basics information. So people will get to know the real Greenland I'm born and raised in.
Lovely. I love the way you say that. And this is what's so great about content creators, is this authenticity. It's not from a brochure. It's not from a website. It's interesting stories about Greenland people, their landscape. So maybe just put a little bit of detail on that. What's the population of Greenland?
We have 56,000 people in Greenland. We have 17. Yeah, we have 17 towns of cities, town cities. It's our biggest city here, Nuuk. Our capital is with 19,000 people, so that's 1/3 of the population living here. And there are no roads between towns and villages, settlements, because we go by boat or helicopter or a sled dog and so on to get around here in Greenland.
Sledge dog, yeah. So you've got your own sledge and dogs as well.
I don't. Only above the Arctic Circle you're allowed to have sled dogs. So Nuuk, the capital, is below the Arctic Circle. So yeah, we don't have any sled dogs.
And what's the temp?
southern
And
part of
what's
that.
and what and Q? What's the temperature like? I mean, right now, for example.
Right now, it's -4 degrees here in Nuuk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
but
and,
we have
and
had couple of plus degrees lately, so we almost have no snow. We have like less than a centimeter of snow at the moment.
and is that normal? How cold can it go, or how warm can it be?
Yeah, here in Nuuk, we can get down to like -15 degrees. In a very bad day, -20, but that's very rare. But normal in the summer, we are around 5-10 degrees. In a good day, 15 to 20 degrees. But yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
that
not that extreme cold here in Nuuk.
no, because is it a dry cold as opposed to, because often
Yes.
the problem that creates coldness is the wind chill effect, isn't it? It's that wind that really can be biting. I remember
Yeah.
seeing some of these David Attenborough programs and the penguins all huddled together,
Mhm.
and you felt for the ones that were around the outer side of it that were keeping the ones that warming. I thought, my God, what an existence! Oh dear.
Yes, we do have dry, very dry air here. So the cold feels less cold compared to when I'm in Copenhagen or anywhere else in Europe, that it feels like
Yeah.
freezing, painful cold, but I don't feel that here.
No. And food, what sort of food do you? I'm just guessing you eat a lot of fish, do you? So that's a stable diet, or what?
I think the imagination that we always eat fish is not that correct, because we we eat reindeers, musk ox, seal meat, whale meat, and fish, of course. We also have lamb, yeah, lamb sheep, from South Greenland. So yeah, but we also eat fish, of course, dried fish. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think in our home, 80% of it is international food, like Danish food. I make like Asian food. I make different kind of food in our home, and only 20% of it is like pure Greenlandic meat
yeah.
dishes. Yeah.
And do most Greenland people speak English, or is it not the
Yes,
case?
especially the young kids, from first day of school, they start to learn Greenlandic, Danish, and English.
Ah,
So they
okay.
start to learn it in school when from they're 6 years old.
Ah.
So the younger generation is definitely much better compared to me. Uh, in English. But yeah, it's becoming more and more normal that anyone can say something in English at least.
So I reckon you've got good ties with the Greenland Travel Convention Bureau, and you're probably a great tour guide in terms of your content for people that wanted to come to Greenland. Is that the case? I mean, what sort of brand partnerships have you got involved with before?
Yeah, so there might come something big soon. As Greenland's first influencer, it's quite difficult for the big companies and so on to realize how big an effect I have to the rest of the world.
Mm.
During the last 6 months, I have reached out to more than 30 million people around the world, and they're first starting to realize this. And so it's like I'm like the first one running. So they're learning, and I'm very sure that in 5 years they will say, "Oh, Q was the first one to do this." And then so now I'm starting to get paid for that people who wants to be in my video. So it's still going, but like Visit Greenland is very interested in me now. I have tried to reach out to them, but I also think like my self proudness have hold me a little back, because but now they know me, and we have meetings with them shortly, and it's like it's coming out there. But it's
Yeah.
always difficult to be the first one to make them realize how big of influence I have to the rest of the world that could be helpful for the tourism industry, for Greenland, and so on. But there's so many around the world who writes, Greenland is now on my bucket list just because of you. And I'm book my tickets now to Greenland. So I get all these messages.
That's really, really powerful. I mean, we've talked about it from a tourist perspective, but I mean, a much bigger one could be foreign investment, for example, and companies having bases there, or particularly exploratory ones, maybe, and all manner of different things. And that's what's really exciting about, putting Greenland on the map. In the first place, as a consideration, I think is really interesting. And for special interest groups, for example, people that want to study animals and all that sort of stuff, and for young people that want to travel. A lot of young people now traveling, backpackers traveling all the way around the world. You don't often hear people talk about Greenland as one on their list, but in a way it's quite intriguing, isn't it? So I can see how your type of content could enter that bucket list, which is great. So let's talk a little bit now about some of your videos. And I know you were telling me this morning that you've had really great numbers across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and it's really, really good. So tell us about some of those numbers and what type of content you create.
Yeah, so my TikTok has 246,000 followers at the moment. It will be thousands more during the day. One of my videos has went viral. I did a 100-day series recently, so I was posting every single day. And on day 40 out of the 100, I made a video saying which means dirty reindeers eating dirty reindeers like dirty reindeers. So it's a Greenlandic tongue twister. When I posted that video, it just went viral because I say this phrase instantly, and people are like, why is he talking like that? What is she saying? I also wrote on the top text of my video, Greenlandic. So people were aware that I was speaking Greenlandic right away. And yeah, so that one went really well. And recently, like 2 weeks ago, or is it 3 weeks ago now, I posted another video where we are eating Greenlandic food that has 2.3 million views. And I think I have more than, I don't know, more than 15 videos that had more than millions of views. So yeah, I am definitely reaching out.
and that's on YouTube as well. What have you got on YouTube?
On YouTube, yesterday I got 10,000 followers. Today I have 10,400 followers on YouTube. I'm very happy about this. The growing on YouTube has been slow. Some of my videos have more than 200,000 views.
Yeah.
So it's growing definitely at the moment, right at this moment on YouTube.
But what's really interesting is, it's, as I often say, it's not necessarily always about the numbers of followers. It's about their level of engagement and the relevance to the influencer themselves.
Yes.
And if you're creating, relevant, interesting, exciting content, then actually people want to know more about you, and they'll create the right responses. So you mentioned one viral video that did very well. What other types of content do you put out?
I put out anything to do with Greenland, how many we are, what do we eat, what our national costume is, and our flag, our language. There's like counting to 5 in Greenlandic. And so like I make and I include my children, I include my husband every now and then, but mostly it's me appearing in my videos. So I just get into any topic. And next week I'm gonna do my first video about the high suicide rate here in Greenland. So really? I'm very excited about that, because my videos is I show the positivity, how great life is. I always say life is amazing at the end of my videos. So it's like I'm sharing like the positivity of Greenland, but this topic is not positive. So I have been thinking a lot, how can I say it in a way that doesn't sound negative? How can I turn it into something positive to tell the rest of the world? So I'm gonna one of my friends, she is a specialist in suicide prevention and so on. She's going to be in the video as well. And she is going to answer the question where I'm asking her, why do you think this suicide rate is this high in Greenland?
Yeah.
So we will get an answer, like explanation why it's high. Yeah. So
Yeah.
instead of getting into details with the bad stuff, but like just to get an understanding why this is happening.
Well, and let's be honest, if that's part of sad as it is, if that is part of what is going on in the country, you as a spokesperson for Greenland, should be reporting on it. I mean, that's the great thing is you're almost now a journalist, a reporter, aren't you, with creating content and bringing people's stories to life.
Yeah.
And it's a sad situation, particularly past COVID. How many people, sadly couldn't go on in all parts of the world for all manner of different reasons. And that's why I think, content creators like yourself are very relatable, because you tell a story often in a very emotional way, which can make people feel that, my goodness, this is happening. This is very relatable. I wouldn't be surprised if you get some of your best engagement from that, particularly if you do it in a very warm and sensitive way, that's supportive. So yeah, let me know how that goes. That would be great. All right. So what's the future look like? What's the plans for 2023? What would be your greatest collaboration? If there was a brand that you would love to work with, who would that be?
I would love to work with the brand The North Face, because I have always worn their jackets. I love the warmth they always give me. So I have always been a big fan of the brand The North Face. I would love to collaborate with them and also I would like show them how I'm wearing them in the Arctic, how it gives me warmth and comfort and all of that. So I would love to collaborate with
them. See if we can make that happen.
Maybe that would be amazing.
So tell us about your story from Dubai. Where did you go after Dubai?
Yeah, so I went to Copenhagen, and the day after I went to Toulouse in France, where Airbus's company plane factory. And then I went on a maiden voyage from Toulouse directly to Kangerlussuaq, Greenland, with Greenland's newest Airbus A330 Neo. So I flew with our prime minister, journalists, and other important people. And so I was invited by Air Greenland Q. Can you please come so we can have it on Q's Greenland about the maiden voyage? And that was a great experience. And I was so proud when we landed in Kangerlussuaq. I was like, Air Greenland, it's the first time Air Greenland is fully 100% owned by Greenland. That is like, I'm also proud. We were also proud that we have now our own brand new plane airline, which is purely 100% Greenlandic. So
I love it.
That was a great experience.
That sounded amazing. Okay. All right. Well, look, thank you so much for giving us a bit of a taster on what it's like to be Greenland's #1 influencer and sharing your life with us. How can people follow you or find out more about you?
If you just write QS Greenland on Google, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So just write QS and then space and Greenland. Q's Greenland.
Right. Lovely. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the very best.
Oh, thank you very much too.
Thanks for listening. And if you like this episode, please do give us a review, as it makes a real difference to us. And if you want help in creating an influencer marketing strategy, or you want to join my weekly roundtable event, just head over to gordonglenister.com. And thanks as always to my producer, Neil Whiteside from Freedom One. And until next time, from me, Gordon Glenister, it's bye for now.